Thanks for joining Sales with Suli, a mom of three who spent the last 12 summers knocking doors. Welcome to my podcast where I talk about all things women, the ups and downs of my journey, and what it takes to find success on and off the doors. Enjoy this episode. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode, Sales with Suli. I'm super stoked and kind of bummed about this episode. I'm excited that Alexa is here, who is married to Cody Olive, who did like 1,700 accounts 2 summers ago and then Golden Door winner this year. But I'm excited that Alexa's here. I definitely think that she's going to be the star of the show. A lot of you ladies out there had been asking about, what it looks like from the women's perspective, being in a relationship with high performers and high producers in this space. But the cool thing about Alexa is she actually had 3 summers of doing door-to-door prior to being married to Cody just this last October. And so I kind of want you to just give us a little background about you. How did you get recruited into the space, and just what it looked like for you up until now?
Yeah, so I started because someone from my mission, she recruited me to go sell actually trash removal service.
So mission, but some people who listen to this don't know what a mission is.
Okay, so you go for 18 months to wherever you are called and just help people to come closer to Christ. So in a way, it was sales, so that kind of helped me to talk to strangers every day. And then one of the friends that I met from there, then I got into trash removal contracts in Philly.
I want you to say, because trash removal contracts is not something that is like known.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about like how that works. Like, what does the contract look like? Like, how much does someone get paid for that? Like, what are you selling?
So in a lot of places in America, you do it through your taxes, like Utah, a lot of other states, you just do it through your taxes. But in Philly, and a lot of townships in Philly, you have to contract your own trash removal service to come pick up your trash every week. So like residential trash.
Got it.
And so basically it was like $30 to $50 a home.
Holy
But they would pay quarterly, so $69 a quarter. But it wasn't like pest control or any of that.
That's funny. They would pay like $69 a quarter. It's like almost as much as they were paying for like pest control, I think, when I first started. That's awesome.
So, I mean, it's pretty cheap, but we would mostly go against like what was it? I forgot. Republic and all these other trash companies that are more nationwide. So it was cool. It was like a local company we were building.
So you guys were you guys doing a lot more switchovers?
Yeah, everything is switchovers. No one didn't have trash, right? So like everything was switchover. So that helped me in pest. So then in the YSA war.
And how many did you finish with? I want to make
trash,
sure we know that.
I sold 119 is what the number was. I mean 619.
Yeah, I was
sorry.
Like,
619, not 100, 619. So
off
more.
Of selling trash removal, your very first year in door-to-door space, and how many months was that?
Just the 3, the regular summer. Yeah.
3 months, and with how low that they were paying, you still made
18 grand.
18 grand in 3 months of just going and switching over someone to something that they were already going to be using every single day. Like, I love that. And people take for granted, like, I see some of these like comments on social media in these spaces like, oh, you knock doors for a living, like you do this. I'm pretty sure where some of these people are, they're not going to make $18,000 in 3 months.
Yeah. Well, and the cool thing too is like, to me, that's what sold me is like, it just made sense for them. Yeah. And I didn't have to like say, oh no, like we're going to go from this amount to this amount to this amount. It's like everyone we sold, which was a pro and con now that I've been in the pest control industry, but everyone was 69 a quarter that we sold. No matter how big their house was, it didn't matter. Everyone was 69. So I like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. And then, then you transitioned into
pest control because I met Cody at church. I met Cody at church, and then we started dating that summer. And I vividly remember it was like in the middle of the summer, and Cody's like, yeah, I'm going to hit 850 because I want to pay for law school.
So hit 850, like 850 accounts. Oh my gosh. So is Cody still wanting to go finish law school?
No.
Okay.
He's
that
a little
was same as me.
Yep. He has the golden handcuffs currently.
Yes.
But he was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is why I came out. Because he went on a mission at 24 and came home at 26. Wow. And so he's like, I need to do something and I need to maximize where I'm at.
His time.
So that's why he went with, it was Green X, but it was the grit region
marketing,
of Green X, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And we've always been with Ben Egan, who has helped Cody go through the whole summer. So that first summer, he was like, yeah, I'm going to hit 1,000, or I'm going to hit 850. And I was like,
and 850 is accounts or revenue? Okay.
Accounts.
Were you doubting him?
Well, yeah, he was at like 300. And it was over the middle of the summer. And my logical brain was like, hey, Cody, like, I don't know if you can like double it. Like, you know, isn't the burnout thing a thing? Yeah. And he was like, no, I'm hitting 850. And so he stayed out until he hit 850. And then the CEO, like everyone at Green X and like Ben Egan and everyone was like, hey, dude, like we have 3 other people that hit 1,000. You should hit 1,000 too. And so he was like, all right. So then he just pushed through it and he was able to sell 1,000 that summer. So as a wife or a girlfriend, I think it's cool to just support them.
Yeah.
Like I still wish that I would have been like, stay another week and be the number 1 at Green X,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of wives and girlfriends and we can, you know, or husbands or vice versa, whatever, they can deteriorate the potential of what he had. And so I think that Cody did really well with just like helping me see that, like, no, this is my goal and I want to hit it. And now from then on, I've known to not doubt Cody.
Yes.
He will accomplish anything that he puts his mind to. So I think it's cool to support and not say, hey, you can just come home early today, or hey, let's do this today. It's like, no, stay out all day, work the hours, and then you can support them. So.
Well, I want to talk about that a little bit because, to be honest, a lot of people who are coming out to door, they're going to have like girlfriends, or they're going to have like women back at home, or it's definitely, you know, I'm an anomaly where my husband is the stay at home. But to be able to hear from your perspective, like what were some things that you felt like that you were doing to be able to just still keep your identity while being attached to this high producer in this space? Like I wanted to make sure that it wasn't like, I'm like, hey, this is Cody and his wife. Like you have your own identity. You're just as amazing. You can do all these things as well. But how do you separate those differences being in a relationship with someone like that and still keep your goals?
I think for me, it's just like I didn't want to, when we were to get married, I didn't want to go out to the summer and not have anything planned. Because typically those couples don't work out as well because the wife is unhappy.
Yeah.
And Cody's also really big on like, if I'm happy, he's happy, like I'm happy. Because obviously if I'm not being like forwarding my life and, you know, continuing my future, I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah.
And so that's why I wanted to sell that second summer after we met. I was like, no, I'm going to sell. Like, I think that would be good for me. And I didn't sell with him that when he hit 1,700. I went on a different team with Parker Anderton, which was a great manager. And I was also with his little sister, Bailey Lucas.
That's
and
awesome.
So to me, I was like, I'm not a girl. I never felt like I was a girl selling because I've never been alone. So I'm like, I'm just one of the guys. I sell. Like, I sell. So I think always working, if you're ever out there as a wife, you should work, go to school, do school online, get a job, like forward your future to be happy. So that's what I did.
I love that. Yeah. And I look at even like some of the teams that I'm on and some of the guys who just like reach out about like, oh, my wife's just unhappy. Like we don't have like multiple cars. Like they're not going to be able to, you know, allow me to be here. And I know before this episode was starting, we were talking about like a lot of the people that you're dating on your team. Like what are some non-negotiables or tips that you want to give to people who may be dating or newlywed couples who are getting into the space? Like what would be like, it's inevitable. They're going to go knock with each other. They're going to go be on the same team. What would be some tips that you would give to people who are dating each other and knocking on the same team?
This last summer, this is my third summer in 2021. I went with Cody as an engaged couple, so it's kind of dating, I guess.
Okay.
And I think just don't call them during the day. Only emergencies. Like, me and Cody have already pre-established, like, don't call me because he was in charge of a team of, I think it was like 20 or plus.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I already have a lot of other people calling me, so if it's an emergency, But if not, like, you can, like, figure it out. You know? And I'm okay with that. Like, that's how his mom taught him. Figure it out. Me figure it out. That's great.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something that you should totally just say, we're not going to call each other unless it's an emergency.
I love that.
Or if it's, like, sometimes you're emotional, you know.
It's true. Sometimes we
give
just
that a 1 or 2 times, but not a lot, because otherwise you're not going to take yourself seriously either.
Yeah.
And I think another tip is to, like, push each other and not, like, hold each other back.
Yeah.
And so if he's not selling, because typically it doesn't work like where Cody sells 1,700 and I sell 160. Like, that's, my grandma couldn't wrap her head around, like, how could he sell that so much more than you? And I'm almost the same time. But I think that not comparing yourself and just both working really hard. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Because at the end of the day, you guys are basically just there, like, supporting each other. So your first summer, you did 600 trash accounts, and then your second summer, you go and do 160 pest control accounts in how many months?
And that was the COVID year. That was the 2020 first, like, ever knocking during COVID.
Okay.
And so I think we went out, I want to say we started the very end of May. Okay. And then I went home August 15th because I had school. I'm at school at UVU too. So
cool. Yeah. So I love that. So still in, like, a short amount of time, during, like, the pandemic, you still go out there and do, like, 160 deals. And then this last summer, you guys were just planning a wedding. And so I kind of want to hear, like, some of your, like, tips and just kind of, like, your mindset behind, like, why did you want to be in door to door? I want to be able to, like, know that. And then, like, what would be, like, some advice that you would give to women who's coming into this space and has no clue or didn't serve a mission?
Yeah. I think that if you're, well, first you asked what did you ask?
What did I ask? I was like, what was your, like, mindset? Like, why did you want to get into door to door? Yeah.
So I did my first year. I had a scholarship actually for 4 years for dance because I danced my whole life. I've always worked hard. Like, my whole life, I did school and then I went to dance from 3:30 to 9 every day.
Holy cow.
Then my senior year of high school, I got a scholarship and I was able to go to any school, just use the money to apply for the 4 years.
Yeah.
So when I got home from my mission, I was like, hey, I'm going to go to dance and that'll be what I'm going to do. And then I couldn't be on some of the teams or some of the dance after school because I wanted to work and go to school. And typically you would have to dance all day.
Okay.
And I needed to work. So I was like, hey, the next year, like, I got this, like, summer sales opportunity, so I'm going to sell. And then the next year I can be on these dance teams if I, get this money because you get the lump sum. And I wouldn't have to work during school. So that was the big motivator.
Were you able to do that?
So, and then I went into summer sales and I decided I wanted to do more of a business degree.
Got it.
So I did, I'm in business management, or I might go into financial planning and get that license. And then I also want to do real estate. So business for me has always been something that I've been involved with.
Yeah.
And so that's why I got into it, is to have money so I could do dance, but then I didn't. But
it was still like a good, like, starting point. Do you still dance though? Like,
I teach every now and then I'll dance, like, if there's an adult class at my studio. But yeah, I don't do it as much. But
that's cool.
I work out. I like to still move.
Yeah, and I want to go back to that. And so how many years did you dance for?
Oh man, my whole life. I started when I was like 5, and then I stopped, and then I went back in 5th grade, and really was every day. My best friend while I was on my mission was on So You Think You Can Dance. I was from a studio with a lot of, like, those famous dancers, and I never did ballroom, but she could have been on a lot of different shows. But yeah,
that's awesome. I bring that up because I'm like, for those of you men out there who are like, okay, what types of women should we be recruiting? What types of women should we be inviting to the space? And yes, someone who's been dancing for several years and just, like, knows what it takes to sacrifice and putting in time, outside of the studio. And I'm just thinking about, like, some of the girls that I know who do dance and just how much more motivated they are in life because they know some of the sacrifices that it takes on the dance floor. And so you just reminded me of the importance of talking to dancers.
Yeah. Well, I think too, like, do you ever look at a guy and you're like, for sure, I'm going to recruit him? Like, you try to recruit everybody and anyone. Yeah. And Taylor Mortensen, she was on our team this summer. And there's a lot of people, like, girls are like, I don't know, will they do good or will they not? But Taylor Mortensen was one of the hardest working rep. Not a girl, she's the hardest working rep. And she sold, I think, over 200. So I think that you can't ever look at a girl and be like, is this the type of girl that would do well?
Yeah.
It's like, girls surprise you.
It's true.
You know?
They surprise
I'm
me
very
too.
girly. I am like a girly girl. I danced. Like, people didn't ever, like, everyone doubted me when I went on my mission. And then they're like, be safe. Like, are you going to be okay on the doors?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm fine. I've been talking to strangers since I was little. I'd fly alone all the time. And like, I'm just very independent. So anyways, I didn't like how people are like, be safe. And I'm like, I'm fine. We're knocking in nice neighborhoods.
Yeah. No, I love that. And that's funny because the episode that I was doing right before you had come, it just brought up like some of those things where recruits will reach out or women is just like, oh, are we going to be like safe? Like what's going to like happen? Like we're going to be out there like alone. Like we're going to be doing this. Like, well, it'd be like some advice that you would have for women who might have those attachments or might have like some of those you know, realistic, like, would just be honestly scared.
Yeah. I think it's a combination of two things. You're scared to talk to new people.
Yeah.
You're scared of rejection. And then the third thing, sorry, it's three things. But then the third thing is you're scared of, like, what if this happens? It's like, well, someone could walk in your house any night and, you know, whatever. So there's always going to be what ifs, but you just can't be scared of the what ifs. Like, I have been knocking for 3 years. I had not had one scary experience with a male. Everyone's scared of the males. Cody says, COVID was nice. No one asked me to go into their house. But, like, don't go into people's houses. Just be smart with that. Yeah. But then also, like, I had one scary experience with 3 years of selling. So,
what was that scary experience?
Just this guy, I was in a, like, not as wealthy of an area, so it was a little bit more rundown. Okay. And this guy just, like, came at me. He was blind, and it was scary. That's when the one time I called Cody. He says, "Okay, I'll move you areas."
The one time he'll be like, okay, now you can call me for area.
Yeah. So that was just, like, one, like, kind of ish, not life-threatening, but kind of, you know? Yeah. And so I think just with the scare factor, I think just be confident and just be like, if you don't feel easy about something, don't do it. Yeah. Like, I'm scared of dogs, not people. I don't like dogs. Yeah. People, I'm like, I can run away from, I can punch them, but dogs are scarier.
It's true. You never know what they're going to do with their teeth. But I love that you brought that up. Like, just be confident. I know that there's going to be women who are listening to this who are going to have a hard time opening their door, have a hard time, like, getting to area. Like, just know that you are good enough for the space. Just know that you're just as good as any other rep on your team to go out there to be able to go and just, like, knock and do your thing. And just, like, hearing you say, like, I've talked to strangers, like, my whole life. Yeah. Like, you, Alexa, were meant for this space. Like,
the best industry.
Yeah, no, I love it. But I want to hear. So you guys got married after the summer. Okay. Yeah. So what are some things that you guys are putting in place for, like, this upcoming summer, or have you guys? You being married, like, are you wanting to semi-knock? Are you wanting to do your own thing? Like, what do you feel like the direction that you're going to be going now that you guys are married?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I've seen so many couples where they go home early because the wife doesn't have anything to do. Yeah. And my sister had done sales for 7 years, and she always did things. And so basically what I'm going to do this summer, what we have prepared is I will be doing class because I want to graduate sooner. And then I will knock probably 2 or 3 times a week. I love that. Just depending on, or I'll help in the office as well if knocking doesn't work out. But I know the space, so when people get either, like, copped out or they need to move area, Cody used to deal with that. But now since I understand the space, I can help him out in that area and take that off of him.
I love
that.
Which
is nice.
Yeah. So for those of you women out there who are engaged or who are dating each other, like, definitely get involved. If you only have, like, one vehicle, maybe go knock with them, like, twice a week, or, Uber to the office and help out in the office or anything like that. But I think the biggest key is being able to just do you, like, find growth in yourself and kind of let, your spouse be able to go and do their thing as well. Is that what it sounds like?
Yeah. Well, and Cassidy King and Bo King, they're a married couple, and they both are very successful in sales, which you've had her on your podcast.
Yes, I love her.
Awesome. But she, in her podcast with the landing pad, she was like, if you're going to sell, like, you need to sell. Like, you can't do the 2 or 3 week thing, which I totally agree. The only reason why I'm doing the 2 or 3 week thing is because I'm not going to just sit down and not do anything.
Yeah,
I will go crazy. So if it's your first or second year, I would just not do the 2-3 week thing. I would just go full out, do it every single day, be on the team, be a rep.
Got it.
But in some circumstances, if you want to do school, you should, and also work. So,
I love it. Just stay busy. I think that's going to be like the biggest thing or the biggest feedback that I get back from couples who are married, is just making sure the one who isn't going to be on the doors is pursuing things that they love and that they enjoy, so that it's not taken away from the goals of, you know, maybe either their husband on the doors. Yeah. Or either or. Because I have a couple people who are, the men are going to be staying at home now. Yeah. So it'll be fun to watch. But before we get off, I know that this is going to be caught off guard, but there's plenty of people who want to hear your pitch, and I know it's so off season.
Oh,
and
man.
It is going to be fun. And I want people to know that it is not about what we're saying, but it's about like what we are doing. Okay.
Oh no.
So
I literally have it. Cody will say, Alexa.
Well, Cody's not going to listen. Cody is not even going to judge one bit. It's literally just the initial. Yeah. Like, that is it. I'm going to give one objection. Everyone is going to freaking love it. Okay? So you're going to go ahead and knock.
I got this.
Okay. Yes, you do.
Okay. Do you want me to do my trash one or my pest control one?
Let's do the pest control one. Okay. Hey.
How's it going?
I'm good.
Totally. Most people are, but just hear me out. We're just here today. We have our trucks in the area, and we are doing a really good service on sale. A lot of the neighbors, actually the Simpsons, the Johnsons, and the Eagans signed up today, and they're getting service as well. And we have previous customers in this neighborhood, too.
Service for what?
Yeah, totally. Basically, what we're going to do is we see these cobwebs up here that you have. We're going to sweep all the eaves and overhangs. We knock down like webs and wasp nests. And then we also do, to not get inside the home, which is what you don't want, right?
Not today.
Never. We never want the bugs inside. So we spray 3 feet up and 3 feet out. We go all the way around the home. And this is just going to make sure nothing's getting inside, or especially down to the cold basement that you have, if it's cold in the winter.
A little bit.
But do you guys have any kids, cats, dogs?
The hubby's got some kids. Okay. So, yeah.
So with that, everything that we use, you don't have to worry, is pet child eco-friendly. We're going to go out in the yard as well, and this will just take care of all their nesting, hatching, and breeding sites. They're just tiny little granules that sink down to the soil. We do have a couple spots open today. If you want, I can get you in the 3 o'clock or the 4 o'clock. What works better for you?
Well, I drop my kids off at 3, but I don't think my husband will be home at 4. I mean, can I talk to him about it before?
Yeah. Basically, what we do is we just put you on the schedule, right? And then it's really simple. How it works is we come once, and then we come 3 other times during the year, because you just have to hit it 4 times a year. Oh. And so it's just every quarter. You just pay $189 a quarter, and then that will take care of anything. Nice thing about this as well is that we will come back for free.
As many times?
Yep. If you see anything in between the quarters.
Got it.
Does that sound good?
It sounds awesome. $189 is cheap.
Oh, yeah. You got to have the high contracts. That's what the Grit's all about. Shout out to the Grit and high contracts. We will have really high ones this summer as well.
I love it. The reason that I wanted you to pitch, because I know that everyone that I asked to pitch, we're not going to say the proper words. I get it. Like, it's just, we're just barely doing it. But what I want to point out is the body language from women, that it is just natural for us to use our hands. Like, we generally do a great job on getting people involved. And like, that's the point. And like, the exciting part about like having more women come into this space is like, we are just naturally good at like making people feel comfortable with us. And so even with you, like counting like your fingers, like doing this, like even with like your facial expressions, like getting, so anyways, I wanted to prove to myself that even I had you do it on the spot. Yeah, your words might be messed up, but I was looking more at like the body language, because it's one thing that I always bring up to the women in this space. Like, we are just so good at getting people to listen to us because of what we're doing, not necessarily what we're saying. So thanks for just being off the cuff and proving a point for me.
I forgot. Caroline told me you said that, and she was off the cuff as well. So I should have prepared.
And hers was awesome too. All of you ladies from the Grit do a really good job. But thanks for coming on the show, even though like Cody wasn't able to make it with us, but I want people to be able to reach out to you. Like, where can women find you? Like, where can they get a hold of you to be able to like get some tips, marital tips, like any kind of tips? Just share with us where we can find you. So
when I gone for my mission, I canceled my Instagram. So I just made a new one.
Nice. I need to go follow you right after this.
So it's Alexa__Olive.
Okay.
So also if you follow Cody Olive, I am on there.
Well, we are going to separate Cody from Alexa. She is awesome standing alone. Yes.
No, but Cody, he's a good like person to be married to with this space too, because he doesn't say, oh, because you're a girl, it's okay if you do this.
I love that.
He pushes me to do as many as I can, which is good.
I love that. Well, again, thanks for showing up. And for those of you women out there who are dating or who are engaged or who are married, definitely reach out to Alexa. Like, find something that you're passionate about. Definitely be passionate if it's going to be the men or if it's going to be your spouse that's going to be the one knocking. Find your own goals. Find your own dreams and be able to just stand alone on your own 2 feet. If you're single out there and you're dating or looking for someone, maybe not look during your selling summer and wait till after the season.
Especially on your team. Cody and I were on separate teams that first summer, so we were on the same team.
I love it.
So do not date people on your team.
Yes, definitely manage your expectations better. But again, for those of you women out there who are dating, who are married, we see you, we appreciate you, and know that you guys are definitely the backbone in a lot of these relationships. We'll see you guys again next week. Thanks for taking the time to tune in. If I've added any kind of value to your thoughts on knocking doors, please share this podcast with another female rep. Until next time, know that you are capable, you are valued, and most importantly, you are enough.